We're in Windows Server 2016. I'm going to show you how to add a new remote desktop web collection. So if we click on Remote Desktop Services, and this is something that I showed in the complete guide to setting up remote desktop services in this playlist, you can see the RD Web Access role is already grayed out. That means that it's been configured. So now we can just go right to where it says Collections and create a collection. So let's go to at the top where it says Collections and choose Create Session Collection. And we'll go ahead and click Next. And we'll just call this RDS Collection. Or you can call it anything you want. And then we'll go ahead and click Next. And we'll choose the only server that we have in our session list of servers. Now here's where we can choose which user groups will have access to this. So we can go ahead and choose domain users, so anyone in the domain will be able to get access to this. And we'll go ahead and do that. Click Next. We're not going to use profile disks. It's something I explained in that previous video. Let's go ahead and click Create. And this only takes a few seconds typically. Now we'll go ahead and click Close. And now it's time to edit our collection. So let's go ahead and click on RDS Collection, and you can see this Remote App Programs list. Let's go ahead and click Publish Remote App Programs. And we'll get a new wizard that pops up, and it'll show us all the available programs that are installed in Windows Server that we can make for our clients. So we can choose whatever it is that we want. Of course, you want to be careful you don't give them access to things they shouldn't have. Go ahead and click Next, and we'll go ahead and click Publish. So I've published 3 apps, and when I log into the web version, I should see those 3 apps. So let's go ahead and open up a web browser and take a look. And we're logged into our remote web app, and you can see what the URL is. So I just put in HTTPS, the name of the certificate, which is remote1.widgetllc.internal in my case, and then afterwards I put a /RDweb. So once you put in /RDweb, you'll get the logon. Go ahead and log in with the domain username and password, and then you'll be able to get in. All right, so now that I'm in, I see the 3 apps that I had previously published. Let's go ahead and click Calculator, and we'll see the calculator open up. And it's not really opening on the local computer, it's opening up on the server, and it's just transmitting pictures to your computer. So you will get a pop-up saying, hey, you want to go ahead and publish this? Say yes. You can also save the settings so you don't get the same pop-ups all the time. And that now it's opening up the calculator app. Now, if you have a really fast server, this happens all within a couple of seconds. If you have a slower server, then it takes a little bit longer. And there is our calculator. And now we can go ahead and use it. And when we're done, we can go ahead and close it. So that will work with each one of these. Now, of course, if you don't have access or rights to a particular program, then you try to open it and it won't work. So let's take a look at how you do that. Let's go down back to our server manager, and we can go to our RDS collection, and we can say right-click on disk cleanup and choose Edit Properties. So this allows us to say who has access and who doesn't. So that way you don't give access to everybody. So we'll say only specified users and groups. So if we click Add, let's just say only administrators should have access to this particular program. Or I should say domain admins. We'll just do that. And then let's go ahead and click Apply and OK. So when we open back up, if we open as a regular domain user, you'll still see all of these 3 applications, but you'll only be able to open Calculator and Paint unless you are a member of the domain admins group. Now, if you want to create a second collection, so if we go back to collections, you can see we have the option to create a second collection, but when we go through the same wizard, we're going to, let's just go ahead and type anything there, we don't see the server anymore. And that's because you can only add 1 collection per session server. So if I have a second server, then I can go ahead and add it here, and I can create a different collection for a different group of users. So if you want to give rights to different users for different apps, then you have 2 choices. One is to go into each one of the apps and do what I just showed you, where you edit the properties, or you have another session server. So in other words, another remote desktop server and then you can create a separate collection for that server. So it's unfortunate we can't create multiple collections on a single session server, but that's just the way it works in Windows Server 2016. So that's how we create a collection in Remote Desktop Services.